Okay, good day everyone. Today we will tackle about the Article 11, which is the accountability of public officers, together with my group mates, Ms. Ariza and Ms. Monton. First, our objective is to assess the principles and frameworks of accountability for public officers and analyze their impact on governance and public trust in governmental institutions. Section 1, Public Office is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people. Serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency. Act with patriotism and justice and lead modest lives. This means that public officials must always prioritize the public's interest and serve them with honesty, integrity, and dedication. Section 2, the President, the Vice President, the members of the Supreme Court, the members of the Constitutional Commissions, and the Ombudsman may be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of culpable violation of the Constitution, treason, bribery, graft, and corruption, other high crimes, or betrayal of public trust. All other public officers and employees may be removed from office as provided by law but not by impeachment. They will be removed from office through impeachment for serious offense like corruption or treason. Section 3, first, the House of Representatives shall have the exclusive power to initiate all cases of impeachment. 3. A vote of at least one to third of all the members of the House shall be necessary either to affirm a favorable resolution with the articles of impeachment of the committee or override its contrary resolution. The vote of each member shall be recorded. The House of Representatives has the sole power to initiate impeachment proceedings. A significant number of House members must vote to impeach an official. No impeachment proceeding shall be initiated against the same official more than once within a period of 1 year, or no official can be impeached more than once within a year.
Good day, everyone. My name is Holly Angel Imunton, and my topic is about Section 8. So, the Ombudsman and his deputies shall be natural-born citizens of the Philippines, and the same time of their appointment, at least 40 years old, of recognized probity and independence, and members of the Philippine Bar, and must not have been candidates for any elective office in the immediately preceding election. The ombudsman must have 10 years or more than been judged or engaged in a practice of law in the Philippines. So, the ombudsman is dili ko dapat ko no pagkuan kay natural born citizen ka ng Pilipinas tapos dapat kayaan ka ng kuan at least 40 years old. So, dapat kinahanglan sab nila na 10 years na sila nayag kuan sa mga law or yon sa mga kuan adisar sila mo dagan. So deputies are the people who assist the ombudsman. So sila saban magatabang sa ombudsman if ang ombudsman is unavailable yaon na time. Sila saban magkuan kung may lamang ba sa ila dapat fairly sila og i-handle nila ng properly. Section 13, sorry. The office of the Ombudsman shall have following powers, functions, and duties: investigate on its own or on complaint by any person, any act or omission of any public official, employee, office, or agency when such act or omission appears to illegal, unjust, improper, or inefficient. Explain sa nga kay powers of responsibilities of ombudsman. So, it covers how the ombudsman can investigate complaints, asking for documents, or speaking to people. The process of handling complaints from the public. any limits on what the ombudsman can do, like certain cases they can look into. So the exact details of the Section 13, it depends on on the country or law, but generally it's about giving the ombudsman the tools to do their job properly. So next, key principles and frameworks. Public office as a public trust. Section 1. The fundamental principle established the public office of an is not a personal privilege but a responsibility to serve the public interest. So, kuan niya is dili siya mo gain para sa imo personal life, pero mukan siya sa public interest nimo sa mga tao nga nila makita na responsible ka na mag-serve para sa ila. So the impact, it fosters a sense of duty and accountability among public officials, encouraging them to prioritize the needs of the people over personal gain. So sila sabaan manage sila isabaan magakuan if sa mga official na para mo kuan ang mga tao, ma-encourage ang mga tao na dili ko ano ng mga official na para sa ilang mga personal life or personal gain. So gi-prioritize nila ang needs ng mga tao dili sa personal gain nila kundi para sa mga tao. So impeachment process, Section 27. This provides a mechanism for removing high-ranking officials for the office for serious misconduct. So amo sab ini sila an kon ang official is below the belt da siya or lang pa na, which means na yun mga like kurakot or mga unoda ka na yung binuang bita siya, just amo sabihan sila ang impeachment na amo sila ang ma-remove sa official para sa ila rank kay kuan nila na yon dili na bita siya angayan or dili na siya karespeto kay tungod na yon iya gipanhimo. So the impact ensures that those in positions of power are held accountable for their actions and can be removed if they abuse. So yan ang impact niya is if mag-abuse bitaw ang official is kinahanglan gayud siya ng impeachment, so they remove the official na take advantage tapos the abuse sa authority. Yan lang po at maraming salamat.
Good day, everyone. I am Michelle E. Mariza. I am going to continue the report about the accountability and public officers. So number 3 is Ombudsman's roles. From Section 5 to 14 is nakasummarize na ito. So, ang tanggapan ng Ombudsman ay itinakda bilang isang independenteng ahensya upang magsagawa ng investigasyon sa mga reklamo laban sa mga opisyal at ahensya ng gobyerno or empleyado ng gobyerno. So, ang epekto nito ay bibigyan nito ng kapangyarihan ang mga mamamayan na panagutin ang mga opisyal ng gobyerno at ang transparency at mabuting good governance. Number 4 is financial accountability. Section 16. So, sa Section 16 is ipinagbabawal ng seksyong ito ang mga pagmamayari o kinokontrol na bangko ng gobyerno na magbibigay ng pautang sa mga matataas na opisyal upang maiwasan ang mga posibleng interes na magdudulot ng salungatan. Section 17. So sa Section 17 is nagtatakda ng pagsumiti ng deklarasyon ng mga ari-arian, pananagutan at net worth ng mga officials ng gobyerno upang mapalakas ang transparency at accountability. So, ang epekto din nito ay nakakatulong ang mga probisyong ito sa pagpigil sa korupsyon at tinitiyak na din na hindi ginagamit ang mga opisyal na gobyerno ang kanilang posisyon para sa pansariling interes. So, impact on the governance and public trust. Enhances accountability. Sa enhances accountability is sa pamamagitan ng mga mekanismo para sa pagpapanagot ng mga opisyal, pinalalakas ng Article 11 ang prinsipyo ng good governance. So, promotes transparency. So, ano nga ba ang promotes transparency? So, ito ay ang probisyon tungkol sa pagdideklara ng mga ari-arian at ang papel ng ombudsman ay nag-aambag sa mas transparent na pamahalaan. Build public trust. So, ang build public trust ay tinitiyak nito na ang mga opisyal ng gobyerno ay may panagutan sa kanilang mga actions na tumutulong sa pagbuo ng tiwala ng publiko sa mga institusyong pamahalaan. Deterrence or corruption or pag-iwas sa corruptions. Ang banta ng impeachment at investigasyon ng ombudsman ay maaaring magbigay ng pabala laban sa mga tiwaling gawain at maling pag-uugali. So, conclusion. Article 11 of the Philippine Constitution ay nagbibigay ng matibay na pundasyon para sa pananagutan ng mga opisyal ng gobyerno ang mas transparent, epektibo at malayang korupsyon na serbisyong publiko.